Yeah.
Saluda a mi gente de ese que se me olvida, no tienen que apuntarlo.
El Strong Sports Zone. Aquí estamos con el próximo campeón.
Oye, estos son la gente que son, más nada.
Así mismo.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get to the main event. And I was awake for this fight. I was asleep for the other shit, you know what I'm saying? But I was definitely awake for this shit. I was looking forward to this shit. This is what had me buy the tickets. O'Shaquie Foster against Abraham Nova.
Great fight.
A little caveat or a little nugget. They were trying to get him to shave his beard down. I don't know if you heard that. The Athletic Commission, the New York State Athletic Commission, and he had refused due to religious beliefs. So you know that's a little something to think about. Listen, Nova, I thought Nova was gonna win. I mean, you said something to me that I thought was very interesting in the beginning. You said Foster can't start slow. He has to come out and be a quicker starter, as you know, he's been notoriously slow in the past. WBC junior lightweight strap on the line. And I like Foster, man. His story's like all of our story who come from the mud. You know what I'm saying? You gotta love them, you gotta respect him, you gotta root for him. We were trying to figure out who that lady was with him and looking like, no disrespect, like Bootsy Collins almost. Now I don't mean there's no disrespect, but it was his grandmother, and he pulled up with his grandmother in a limo, and he brought her over, and then she raised him and all that. So shout out to him. But like I said, he's come from the mud, man. He's on an 11-fight win streak. Took that WB strap in that vacant title match against Ray Vargas. That was a great fight.
And he's a road warrior. He doing all this shit on the road,
right?
Glenn Johnson style.
Yeah, absolutely. Comes back against Eduardo Hernandez in the 11th round when everyone had him down on the cards. So he's got some heart. He's got some guile. Abraham Nova. I think his only loss before this was to Rubisi Ramirez, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
I like Nova. He's like this Puerto Rican dude, but like from all over the place. Is he from fucking upstate? Is he from PR? Like he's just like, you know what I mean? But the Garden was with him. What'd you think of that fight, man? I thought that Nova had the first couple of rounds, and again, I went back to watch this. I thought Nova had the first couple of rounds, and then I think O'Shaquie started to come on after that. I think it was a very technical fight. I think once Foster started warming up a little bit and kind of finding a range, I think he landed the more cleaner, effective shots. I had it very close going into that last round. I mean, I think you and Q, who was with us, had it Foster ahead by a couple of rounds. I know that was live. I don't know when you went back what you saw, but he drops him in that 12th round. I thought that was the decisive factor. That was like right on time. I had it close up into that round. I really would have probably scored it for O'Shaquie, but to that knockdown, I could see it being a draw. The last thing I'm gonna say on this is you pointed out, and I had noticed it, but you brought it to my attention as well. He switched to southpaw very early, and I thought that was key. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was key. That to me, that changed the whole direction of the fight. I mean, what's your thoughts on that, B?
So, man, he when I was watching it, I was thinking he's being smart against a guy who, because when you Supernova will counterpunch the mess out you, right? Mm-hmm. That's what he does. He swings on you, you swing back, he's coming back on the same side. It's called a reaction punch. So he's doing that to O'Shaquie and touching him sometimes. And then like midway through the fight, he throws a right hook. O'Shaquie's hand is there. It hits, and O'Shaquie lets the crowd know. They like, ooh, he like, nah, see, the glove is here. So O'Shaquie was just picking his spots well. I thought when he landed harder. I thought Nova did enough to win the fight had he not got dropped in the 12. So it was going to be a matter of what you saw in the fight, and I had it really close. So O'Shaquie looks good. The thing with him is he's got a blueprint. Since his loss to Samuel
Samuel Tay out of Philly.
Yeah, Samuel Taya. So that even the split decision loss he had against Chiney or is it Chinea? Split decision loss he had against Chinea. He had a blueprint a little bit about how to beat him. I think this fight right here, he was having those same hiccups. When the lights shine bright with O'Shaquie, he performs, but not always to the best of his ability. That happened here, and he made the adjustment and got past the hurdle he couldn't in those two fights. The Taya fight was he lost. The Rolando Chinea fight, though, the split decision could have went either way. It was a pick'em fight, but in this fight, something clicked where he said, "I know how to get this done," and then he got it done. Will he carry that to his next fight is the question, because the light is only going to shine bright from here. They talking about, he's at 140, so you know what it is. Haney, T.O.
No, Foster's at 130.
It falls at 130, yeah.
He's
with Navarrete, Cordina, Roach was. I mean, you said some shit. Roach was talking some shit after the fight, right?
Yeah, actually,
that's why
Lamont Roach
I'm messing it up.
No, Lamont Roach and Shock was going back and forth a little bit, but go ahead, Bump.
And he called their names out at the end of the fight. He was saying, "I want one of these champions." He said one of them was busy. Brain fart.
Nah, you good. He called everyone. Make him say he called Tank out. Everybody always want to call Tank out.
Wrong name yesterday night. So
So listen, Tank is the new Canelo, bro.
Yeah,
everyone want to call him out, try to get that bag. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I think Roach is busy at the moment, right? So he's got
Roach
a fight.
Have a fight. No, I don't think Roach got a fight, does he?
I thought he had a fight.
Well,
I thought he said Roach.
Yeah, he's coming off a win, so so he may be scheduled to defend it.
Yeah,
pretty soon. And I think that's where the holdup is.
Yeah, so he called out another two fighters in case they were busy. So Shockey's mindset is right. Can he click the switch in the big fight is going to be the question. He did it in this one, so it looks like he's on the right track. Will he do it again when the lights shine brightest?
Hey, you keep using that phrase "light." I want to just shout out all my Game of Thrones fans, because remember the Lord of Light.
Yes, sir.
But the motherfucker can only come back so many times after you die. And not to be so dramatic, but talking about that slow start, it can be a death sentence for Foster, where that's 2 times in a row he needed a dramatic finish. So yes, I'm wondering, is he tired from all of the fighting on the road, all of the fighting from adversity, all of the feeling like he's fighting from behind, whether actually or not? I wonder, is that getting to him a bit? Because that can be fatiguing, because remember, you did all of that work to make it to become champ. Respectfully, that was the easy part because you were so determined. The hardest part is defending this belt. Now you're targeted. So I'm wondering how he'll handle that part. And, it stands to reason, Cash, you hit on it. He's from the grain like us. So we said, well, damn, if you went through all of that, this should be easy. Only time will tell, because boxing can be very complex, and with the timetables, available opponents, his window of time, right, as a fighter, he may see himself, only having, so many years before he wants to, pivot in another direction or even move to another division, right?
Yeah.
But maybe he feels like, 130 is it for me, because even if my body get to 135, I'm at a disadvantage height-wise, for him to have, it's like when he was getting off his jab against Nova, those were where you could tell he was making the adjustments, because Nova was fast and popping with that jab in the beginning. Then Nova got sloppy with it. And I'm like, damn, if Shockey's jab is landing before Nova's, he's in his rhythm at that point. So he can make the adjustments. He just cannot keep being the Lord of Light. They can't keep bringing you back. Trust me.
It took him a minute to get into his flow, man. But I think he did lean. To me, he landed the harder and cleaner shots, in my opinion. You know, when I went back and looked at it, you know what I'm saying? Like Nova looked a little bit more, you know, flashy with his shit live. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Shaqy just. But listen, I want to ask you this: like, I think Roach said some shit, right? What was Roach's tweet you sent? Let me look it up. I can't remember what you said. You remember what it was? You said some shit. What was Roach's tweet? I have it here somewhere, but
I remember Shock said something along the lines of, he said, "Yo, you've been calling me out since," he said, "oh, now you want to be friends," or something. You know, it's basically like a frenemy kind of situation. Like, oh, you was, you know, you've been calling me out for a long time, you bitch ass nigga. I know that phrase was definitely used.
Now you tough, and I'm gonna show you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, and then what? Oh. Yo, all right, nigga, you almost lost to a nigga that who almost got clipped at 126. What the fuck you think I'm gonna do to you? That's what he said. Yeah. But yo, I like that. I like that unification fight. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm trying to think what else for Shaqy at 130. You know, if he goes up to 35, like, you know, he's obviously campaigning for a Tank fight. I don't think that's even on Tank's radar. That's just wishful thinking.
He needs a unification.
Yeah.
And you know, because again, you know, not like it's, you know, late necessarily in his career or in life, but it's kind of late in the race, and he's ready to kind of cross the finish line and do some victory laps. So you don't want to put him in there in another risky match against some tough mandatory, and he's off to a slow start, have to fight from behind. Put him in there against somebody where he can unify, or the magnitude of the fight, there's no room for that slow start, you know?
Right, like a Gary Russell Jr., a big
man. A Navarrete.
That would be great.
Belt. Yes.
That's what he said was tied up, I believe. I believe he said Navarrete was busy.
Yeah.
Well, supposedly there's nothing signed yet, I don't believe, right? Like I didn't look. I don't think Navarrete
has a fight. He said the name of the fighter he's supposed to fight. Like he got some insight.
What about Navarrete would make the most sense in the unification because he's top ranked. Right?
And that's
Cordina. I like that fight too, but that fight might be a little bit harder to make. Lamont Roach is what, PBC?
Yeah.
Is he PBC or is he top ranked?
You know what? I think he's Golden Boy, matter of fact.
Lamont, he is Golden Boy. Yes, he is.
Oh, then that's an easy fight.
Yeah. I think that fight could happen too.
And he can't slow start Joe Cordina. That's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah,
that's Joe Cordina's too fast. His feet is too quick.
Busy.
And he would have to kind of get off on Cordina quickly and try to hurt him. Cordina don't have the power necessarily to keep him off him. At least I don't think. But you know, Nova was able to get off pretty clean at different times before he kind of lost his discipline. So I think that Cordina fight, even for unification, it's an intriguing fight. But I say fight a Navarrete where it's more entertaining. It's already on top rank.
Yes.
You can probably leverage to get some, you know, something out of it, because even if, you know, Bob starts sitting down with you and he start leaning towards Navarrete as far as giving him the A side, and well, it's, you know, it's probably going to be a Mexican house, a Shaqy. What do you want me to do? Texas doesn't travel.
You got to understand, Shaqy.
Shaqy, your fans don't travel. I'm sorry. The blacks don't buy the tickets like you think.
Navarrete is a good fighter, but yo, that nigga got the crazy fucking.
Lost me
a lot like Oscar the Grouch and shit. Bob Aaron.